What's going on, guys? It's Alex here, and welcome back to another full review of Chainsaw Man chapter 154, where I'm happy to say that this was a very good chapter compared to last week, where we finally get an answer to the question of how strong Makima was compared to her successor Nayuta, and we're getting to see the full true colors of Fumiko, or at least how she really feels, along with some other topics that I want to talk about in this video. But starting from the beginning, it picks up with Nayuta controlling people from the mob along with the nice old lady who tried to bring Nayuta to safety and is using them to give Denji an opening to escape. And while they are confused, Nayuta asks Fumiko to help them since Nayuta herself can only control 3 people. Now, taking a detour, this really does show how while Nayuta seems strong to us controlling a primal devil, which is something that Makima never actually attempted to do, Nayuta's range of control and her overall ability she's able to do is incredibly lacking compared to Makima, who could easily control thousands of people at a time and wildlife across the globe, which, isn't all that surprising. After all, Nayuta isn't fully developed and she still is just a little girl, while Makima had lived likely hundreds of years, which gave her a chance to hone her abilities to the fullest extent that they possibly could have been. But getting back on track, Fumiko did promise Nayuta and Denji that she would keep them safe. After all, that is her job. But we then see that Fumiko is just a full-on fraud, but also a coward, because upon realizing that the situation that they're in is completely hopeless, instead of helping Denji or at least getting Nayuta to safety, she decides that she's going to remove herself from the situation entirely, abandoning both Denji and Nayuta. Because while Fumiko does say, and I'm going to quote her on this, quote-unquote, she's a Chainsaw Man fan, she states that she's just a public servant and a fan second, and risking her life for both of them goes outside of what she signed up for. Which is kinda insane considering the previous Devil Hunters who were assigned to protect Denji in part 1 of the series fought against literal primal devils and international assassins who were far ahead of them in terms of skills and strength. Yet Fumiko, at the first sign that things are really starting to get really bad, well, she flees for her life, which pretty much cements Fumiko as being one of the biggest frauds and one of the most hated characters in the Chainsaw Man community as of late. Although, in Fumiko's defense, it's not like she didn't try to do her job. After all, Fumiko did tell Denji and Nayuta directly if he turned into Chainsaw Man, he'd just get himself killed or put in an even worse situation than he's already in. And then they went back to the apartment, they would likely only be ambushed by the Chainsaw Man Church. But instead of really listening to her advice, which to some level I do think it came from some genuine concern for them, Nayuta, thinking that she knew better, proceeded to try to make an attempt on Fumiko's life by controlling a granny the strangler, with Denji condoning this and going off to do his own thing. And as a result of their actions and thinking that they knew better than Fumiko, well, now they're both facing the consequences. Consequences that Fumiko knows that she can't get them out of, and if she stays into it, well, she'll only get herself killed. And genuinely speaking, when you're idoling a little girl who overpowered and belittled you, yet they aren't able to handle a simple situation like the one that they're in now, you really can't blame Fumiko for running away. After all, Denji and Nayuta did destroy any confidence that Fumiko likely had. And the loss of Kwangshi, who I assume was her mentor, we still don't know what the relationship really is between the two of them, but considering that Fumiko did call Kwangshi senpai, well, yeah, we can all assume that's her mentor, but that didn't really make things any better for her. In any case, Fumiko says an interesting line that even Chainsaw Man would be in trouble if his heart got snatched. Of course, she says this out loud for the crowd to hear, so I'm fully expecting instead of trying to burn him alive, the Devil Hunters from the militia of the people who want to kill Chainsaw Man will try to stab him in the heart or even tear his heart out instead of trying to burn him alive the next time they encounter him. But this could be foreshadowing that about Denji and Asa's relationship, because the minute Denji does genuinely love Asa, feels some level of affection for her, this could make him vulnerable for Yoru's ability to turn anyone she views as her property into a weapon. And before Fumiko can leave, Nayuta begs Fumiko for help trying to pull out her heartstrings, but Fumiko, not caring about any of this, says, well, wasn't it only the family of pets? Which is such a cold and a petty line coming from Fumiko. I'm betting that she definitely did keep some type of a grudge from Nayuta. But I feel like this does have a double meaning, because Fumiko likely also didn't ever really view Denji as a friend or even as her equal, but someone who was less than a human and, well, pretty much like a pet. And with that, Fumiko Batmans her way out of the situation, with Nayuta calling her a diarrhea woman, which is absolutely hilarious. And we then see that the mob has tied down to control people who are attacking them, and they realize that there's a devil among them, that is causing them to fight one another. So what's crazy to me is had people been this smart in part 1, Makima never would have gone as far as she did, but in any case, Baron drags himself all the way to Nayuta and calls her out for being a devil, begging a mob of people to kill her. And at first the mob doesn't want to believe that what they're hearing. After all, Nayuta is just a little girl, but after the granny that tried to help Nayuta earlier put 2 and 2 together, and realized that Nayuta did call chainsawman her family, the mob pretty much turns on her, and knowing that the jig is up, Nayuta controls a man spouting out rumors he heard about chainsawman to grab Denji and take him to safety. And Nayuta realizes that these are likely her final moments, so she makes a final stand and reflects on how she finally gets to kill humans while Denji witnessing it, but admits she doesn't feel a higher sense of enjoyment from killing or causing pain like Denji does. Which was all the dialogue of Nayuta saying killing humans would be fun was more of her trying to imitate Denji or what she thinks that Denji feels about killing. With us as the audience knowing a lot more about Denji, knowing that he never enjoyed killing or conflict, but the pain and adrenaline rush and the attention that comes with it. We see the minion that Nayuta controlled is stabbed to death with one of them landing a hit on Nayuta, cutting her, but getting his jingle bells violated, clearly something that she got from Denji. And the final scene of the chapter ends with a cliffhanger of Baron pointing a very detailed gun at Nayuta, and that's how the chapter ends. Now, honestly, I am thinking that Fujimoto might just kill off Nayuta. I mean, there isn't a way that she's getting out of this situation alive unless the Famine Devil finally makes her appearance after being absent all this time to intervene. But I do think that she was the one who orchestrated all these events to happen and is likely open to the idea of Nayuta dying. I mean, after all, devils never really died to begin with, so it's not like the Famine Devil would be actually losing her sister. But let me know, what do you guys thought of this chapter down below, and do you think we're going to shift back over to Asa and Yoru? I feel like we probably will since Denji is going to be out and about for a while. But yeah guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.